It says it's preparing, setting it up. Yeah, Scott does all the pretty fancy shit through OBS. I don't have that kind of time or patience.
Yeah.
We
Hey,
aren't
what do you know? I see us on YouTube. Yeah,
Hello, everyone.
I'm going to mute here and make sure the audio is working there.
Okay.
Hey, it works.
Woo!
Nice. Okay.
We're already being told Cards Against Humanity. We shall see what we get up to.
Really?
Okay, let me message the group. Say if you come in, you're live.
Can't find our stream. Oh, there. No, it's a recap show. Oh, there it is.
Okay, let me message the group. Say make sure to mute your.
It was the first thing I did. Yeah.
Okay, and I told him in the group chat if you come in, we're live. So apparently we have one person in the chat so far, the Disneyland kid, wanting to know if we're going to do Cards Against Humanity, which I said, well, we'll just see what we end up getting up to because the person who planned this and wanted to do this has not joined our little live session yet. So we will have to see what's up there.
Well, thankfully, the Disneyland kid, we have had a couple of weeks where we haven't been able to post a couple of shows, but we're going to get back to that this week. So we'll have a couple of shows here for you.
We will be dropping all my dreams torn asunder will be coming out on Wednesday at our regular release time. So for me, that's 8 a.m. Pacific. So I will try to hop in the chat that morning and talk to folks as that one premieres, and we'll see how that goes or what may get thrown at me that morning. So Emily,
Yes.
Ryan is already in the chat.
Hi,
It says it's time for
Ryan.
Emily to get on the Sheridan hating soapbox. 1 minute.
I
One.
did not prep for that tonight because I thought this was just gonna be a regular bullshit talking about Centauri dicks. So I didn't have my anti-Sheridan speech prepared.
It is definitely the case that season 5 is not particularly great for Mr. Sheridan.
Yeah, not one of the greatest, I have to admit. Doesn't always play out quite the way we were expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, his character arc has seemed arcing a little more towards douchebag, especially with the slicked back hair thing he keeps doing.
I'm not sure I would go quite that far, but it's not a strong I'm not one of those that doesn't like the relationship between Sheridan and Delenn, but I don't like his political skills, and he's not particularly good at diplomacy either. That is certainly Delenn's area.
Well, and Kevin, I wonder if part of it is because you and I have watched the show a lot. We've been fans, and we both liked Sheridan before
Right.
a lot more than what we're doing now. And I
Hmm.
wonder if that's 20 plus years of better characters that we've seen through other series because really since the end of B5, we had DS9 hitting its stride towards the end of its run with the Dominion War, and you really saw Cisco more as the tactician and strategist and leader.
Hmm.
Towards the end of that, we've seen other shows that have come out with very strong leader roles, some of the newer Star Trek series, some of the other stuff. So I'm almost wondering if it's 25 years of hindsight where we've just seen the role done better.
Well, the other part of it too is the first time that I've watched season 5 in quite some time. So that also plays a part in it as well because, when I rewatch the series, I'll usually go through, season 3, sometimes season 4, and I don't always watch season 5. So this is probably only the third time max that I've seen season 5. The rest
So,
of it I've seen more often.
so Emily, here's a one from the chat we would like to have you address.
Uh-oh.
And it's from Robert that says, we all know Emily has a secret crush on Bruce and doesn't want it to show on the show. Are you just crushing for Sheridan?
No, definitely not. That's my mic.
Yum Yum, again, Ryan says season 5 is great because he sucks as a diplomat, and now it's time to see his luck run out. Ryan, I have sent you the link if you would like to hop on and discuss your views on Sheridan with Emily. So feel free
Yes,
to take us up on that. The link should
Yeah.
be in your chat.
yes.
Disneyland Kid says, are there any of the Gray 17 regulars that are no longer with the group? I know there are 2 from the beginning that have not been here for a while. Just curious if anyone else has stepped away.
No, we're all
No, I mean, one had a stroke. That sort of took him out of commission for a little while. And personally, I blame our co-host for that. After hosting the show for the last 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure that us group of assholes had something to do with that. But no, all of us are still here with the show, minus the 2 that we started out with, John and Andrew, who have stepped away from the show. But all the rest of us are still here. Some of us are just in and out based on how busy we are with work or other things or health conditions, and we're still going. Let's see. Greg XB3. I tend to think Sheridan's weaker performance in season 5 was deliberate. He's supposed to be growing into the position and making mistakes. And that's a good argument too.
yeah.
That does make sense as well. God knows I'm not going to get on Twitter and tell JMS that that won't work, but I'll leave that to Scott to go pick fights with JMS.
Yeah. I still want to know what Sheridan bought Dylan that was.
The infamous gift.
Yes. He made a comment about something being small.
I am assuming, if I had to guess, that it was earrings. I'm gonna go with that as the nice, G-rated answer that he got her earrings and she thought the earrings looked silly on him Minbari.
Okay, I can see the logic behind that because you're a normal human being, not a raging pervert like the rest of us.
Let's not go that far, Emily. I mean, let's not overstate things. I'm just saying I can behave like one when I need to and can go with maybe it was earrings, but no, the rest of us, I mean, we certainly went down the rabbit hole of what the gift
Assholes.
may have been.
Oh boy, this group, I swear.
Yeah, we are a special bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of special bunch, where the hell is Jessi?
I don't know so folks, this was Jessi's idea. She is the one that messaged earlier and said, hey, can we just do a live and shoot the shit tonight and talk to people? And said, sure, why not? We currently are unable to find Jessi.
Should we take a poll on what she's doing?
Oh no.
Like
There we go.
sleeping?
Put your best guesses into the chat on where you think Jessi is rather than here.
Snake milking emergency.
Yelling at her husband for opening the garage door.
That could be. Justin had a really long day working, so we knew he wasn't going to be able to hop on this evening.
I thought he said
Oh, wow. Okay, this is definitely one of our fans.
Woo!
JC commented on the gift to Dylan that maybe it was a pearl necklace.
Oh.
Her comment was about something being small, though, so
JC, don't tell this group things like that because we will take it in so many different directions, most of which are wrong.
very, very.
And the consensus online is that Jessi is milking a snake so far.
Craig XB3 says, I make the argument because JMS wanted a series with flawed heroes, sometimes deeply flawed, that was rare on TV, especially in Star Trek back then, which is absolutely true. That was one of the things that Ronald Moore said when he developed the reboot of Battlestar Galactica, is that the characters from the original were not flawed enough, and so he made much more flawed characters, which was absolutely true.
We also have from Robert, doesn't want to spoil anything specific, but the half of season 5 after the Byron story ended is so much different than the first half. And I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also see where the Byron portion of the storyline was necessary to set the chess pieces in motion and set up some of the later stuff, particularly with Lita.
Yeah.
And I'm not spoiling anything now because we've seen that play out.
Right. I would say though I have enjoyed the latter portion of season 5 more than the beginning portion of it. Yeah, Ryan says now Star Trek has so many flawed characters, which is definitely true.
Yeah, definitely true. Although I will say, I have become a fan of Strange New Worlds. That
It's
is a
fantastic.
great show.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Discovery, I think, suffered at this. The reason I think it suffered so much at the start is you had Brian Fuller, who had kind of the idea of doing an anthology series and had one direction in mind. And Fuller left before the series ever premiered, and they retooled it on the fly. And I think that honestly was a lot of the problem with Discovery is, and why even our comment when we were doing the show on it is that it didn't have an identity, is because they were still trying to figure out what the hell show they wanted to make. And
Yeah.
honestly, I think if they would have not even bothered with the first 2 seasons, they could have made that show easily set in the 32nd century from the get-go and been the future Star Trek and been fine.
Yeah. I kind of liked the second season. I was not a fan of the first season.
The first was rough. I liked the Mirror Universe stuff in the first, but other than that, it was
Yeah,
rough.
right.
I don't think I made it past the first season. I think I tried the second season and I couldn't do disco.
Robert says the Byron story just lasted too many episodes. I would definitely agree with
Yeah, it definitely did.
He did play a really good creep, though. I mean, the actor they selected
Mhm.
for that role did a fantastic job. I absolutely believe he could be a cult leader.
Uh, Disneyland Kid liked our interview with Jason Carter. I have to
Oh,
say, that was fucking
it.
fun.
It was fun.
That was a
He is a
riot.
serious trip. Wow.
yeah, that was a good time.
Kevin talked to Robert. Wants to know if anyone's a fan of the original BSG.
I I definitely like the original BSG, particularly the saga, the original miniseries slash movie. I think it's it's probably the best television sci-fi of the 70s to me. Um, the series, once it got going, there are good episodes. There are ones that I'm not a fan of particularly. Galactica 1980 is garbage. But the original pilot movie, like I say, is phenomenal. 70s, late 70s sci-fi. Now, I wonder if the show would have been able to um, find its own, if it had gone, more than just the first season. But unfortunately, it only got the one season before it was canceled because ratings were starting to slip, and it was a very, very expensive series. But then because they got so much fan reaction from canceling the series, that they decided, okay, well, we're going to do something else with Battlestar Galactica. So then, but they said, but it can't cost as much, so that's how they thought up Galactica 1980, which took place on Earth and is really not good. I think there was a writer's strike in there too, which played a part, but it just is not a good series at all. It's not worth watching. Trust me.
So Yum Yum wants to know if we have any other interviews coming down the line. Would love to hear us interview Robin Atkin Downs. We are working on some stuff. We hope to maybe get a couple more in. I don't want to comment on who we're talking to or where we are with that, but there have been some discussions about possibly trying to get in there. Oh, Jessi's going to be in rare form. She's restarting her damn computer and it's pissing her off. So
Oh
Jessi's
boy.
going to be in a great mood when she gets here. It's always great when Jessi's in a mood. We love it.
The downfall of the original BSG, this is Robert, I'm sorry, not me, was due to the original plan was to have 6 or 7 2-hour movies. That's why I think the two-parters are much better than the one-off episodes. Yeah, I kind of liked the idea of having, the 2-hour, television movie format. But there's a couple of one-off episodes I think are really good. Like there's the fire episode especially that I think is really good. But there's a murder mystery one and a couple others that are pretty good. But it is an outdated, television show now. It hasn't held up super well. A lot of it is because their production value, while it was an expensive series, it just couldn't compete with, your Star Wars, movies. It just was not anywhere close to that kind of scale.
Our friends over at Yum Yum are saying Blake is being very coy about interviewing Warren Keffer. I'm sorry, we don't know her.
Fire in Space, yes, that's absolutely. Oh, it's a two-part? I don't think it is, but I could absolutely be wrong, Robert. I was just thinking about doing a season. Well, I call it season 1, but it's the only season, but an original series dive.
Greg XB3, I believe in one of the script books, JMS said Byron was supposed to last 3 episodes only, but due to his notes being tossed out at a hotel and deadlines and other issues, I've heard that too, Greg, that Byron was supposed to be a shorter part of season 5 and ended up being extended. And a lot of it, like you said, is due to the notes that JMS had getting tossed out, and he had to recover and redo part of the plan for season 5. And frankly, I don't mind saying it on here at this point. We're close enough towards the end of the season. There were issues with TNT developing within season 5. TNT brought Babylon 5 over because they really thought that they could use Babylon 5 to extend their ratings and put it after wrestling. And I'm not quite certain where they thought that the WWE audience was going to translate to the Babylon 5 audience and vice versa. And the network, from reading JMS's book, was fond of sending studio notes in and commentary. It wasn't as bad with season 5 as what it was with what we'll find out in Crusade. TNT really, really fucked with the production of Crusade more or less intentionally to kill the series.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I mean,
Are we watching that?
we can if we want to.
I would like to see us too, because I will say I liked the promise of Crusade, and I really wish that TNT would have either A, stayed the hell out of it, or why they didn't go after the Sci-Fi Channel. Because look back at that time period, Kevin. If Sci-Fi Channel would have picked up B5 and Crusade, it could have been a very interesting period.
Yeah, it's just that Sci-Fi Channel was really in its infancy at that point, and
But they were starting to pick up with productions though at that.
Yeah, you're right.
Because they had Farscape at that point, which was damn good. I'm a big fan of Farscape. And they had a couple others going that really, I think this could have made a nice fit into what Sci-Fi was doing.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd think, being as big of a fan of SG1 as I am, that I would have checked out Farscape at some point, but I have not.
Yeah, Yum Yum. Sci-Fi Channel was just for Legend of the Rangers. Yeah, and that didn't work either, so we won't really talk about that one. We're going to leave that one well enough alone. Greg is an old school B5 fan from the 90s. I always had a tough time selling the show to even other nerds, so hearing this in newbies has been a joy. Yeah, we pretty much lied to our friends. We told them this, they would love it, they would be great. So come on in.
Yes, I was told I would like this.
I would be a newbie if we did Farscape.
And Robert, yeah, you would be right. TNT did have two groups. There was the LA group, which was pushing the B5 and other series, and then Atlanta, which was part of the Turner Media Group at the time. And yeah, they didn't have a goddamn clue.
We don't talk about Legend of the Rangers. It didn't happen.
No, it did not.
I have no idea what y'all are talking about.
Trust us.
You're
I'm better off that way.
You are better off.
You would
Never
not
says
like
Jessi
it.
is too busy watching Crusade to hop on tonight. She better not be, goddammit. And I do agree with your other comment is if we do watch Crusade, good luck finding a viewing order that works. Yeah, it's worse. There's inconsistencies in the B5 viewing order, and it's across 5 seasons. All of those issues are multiplied by 5 and put into 1/2 season of Crusade.
Yeah, it's bad.
And Yum Yum says if we did Farscape, we can hear some lovely Aussie accents every week. That may be part of why I liked that show, Ryan.
Okay, well, that's a selling point.
Am I the only guy that gets Gary Cole and Stephen Culp mixed up? Am I the only guy?
Yes.
Okay, because I always am like, hey, yeah, I like Stephen Culp in that. Oh wait, no, that's Gary Cole.
It's Bingo Bob.
Yeah, right.
Greg says Cascade or Crusade gets a bad rap. I like the characters and its premise, and honestly, Greg, so do I. I really do. And you're right, it didn't have time to find its footing, mostly because of TNT's fuckery.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's motherfucking Jessi.
It's the Snake Milker. Maybe.
I don't know what's happening. There we
There
go.
she is. Hi, Jessi.
Hi, guys.
We took a poll in the chat on YouTube and asked what people thought you were doing. Snake milking won.
Okay, good. Well, I thought it was a lot earlier than it is. So there's that.
Ryan's in the chat too. He said you're busy watching other shows this evening.
Hey, Ryan. Oh, I look wonderful. Wow. Okay.
I don't look great either.
Oh, hush. Okay.
There's a reason this is an audio podcast. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
I've got a face for radio.
But then they miss Justin and his angel dick.
God, I wish that they could have seen that.
So I really wish he could have been on because we had someone in the comments for the outtakes video ask us what did we mean by angel wing dicks?
God, it was like,
and I really wish we could have had Justin on to do a demonstration of angel wing dicks. Kevin, you're friends with him. You send him a message and tell him we need a demonstration of that.
Oh God, okay.
I tried to get him to join, but he said he was tired.
Okay.
Well, but if we dangled angel wing dicks in front of him, that might just
he might wake up and hop on for that.
He might hop on for that. So for those of you that didn't see it, we did drop a video earlier today. We put out a selection of outtakes from our last 2 or 3 episodes that were things that, believe it or not, we actually do cut some of our shenanigans and bullshit out of these episodes.
And there was no context for
any of it.
What got dropped. There is no context. It's just like random. Really, where did take a guess on which episode that was referring to?
I do love the just random. Are those Jessi's boobs?
Because it looked like her shirt was like pulled up over her head. I was like,
because I was going like this, and she's like, "What's happening?"
Was that when? Yeah, because I made you guys want to climb under the desks, didn't I?
Yes, because listen,
a little bit.
Friends, Blake is trying to censor us. And he's had enough of our shenanigans and our
Because in the
Centauri
last
dick
episode,
comment.
Justin admitted y'all have a Deadpool on who the next one of the hosts you're going to give a stroke to is. And since
Jesus.
that's me,
Oh God.
Listen, we didn't do it on
Well,
purpose.
Blake, please
We
don't
have
have a
goals,
stroke
okay?
because that'll mean that
you're up
I have a
next.
50-50 chance of being the next the next host.
I don't know.
Speaking of all this, Kevin asked if there's an update on Scott. Hope he's on the mend. He is. Scott is doing better. We've been talking to him in Messenger. He's not quite up to staying up late and being on with all of our bullshit and shenanigans quite yet, but he is doing well. We've actually recorded up to the next 2 weeks worth of episodes, and those are edited. So as we mentioned this Wednesday, we're going to have And All My Dreams Torn Asunder come out. Following week will be Movements of Fire and Shadow. And then we will see where we are and keep moving through the rest of season 5. But no, Scott is doing well. He is on the mend. He's been messaging with us. He's actually going to be out going on a work trip, we believe, soon. So he is doing much better.
But he just isn't at the place where he can spend hours in front of the computer, which
Mostly dealing with us.
which is totally understandable.
I don't know what you mean by us. I
Okay,
don't
dealing
do
with
anything
Emily.
wrong.
Okay,
Yes.
dealing with Emily. It's
It's
not
usually-
us. It's Emily.
Usually Emily.
She's the one that says she's decided to choose violence and be a menace.
Yes.
I didn't say anything about violence. I just said be a menace.
Robert, you guys railed with it. Yes, Jessi is the one that said rail it in.
She
God
did.
damn it. I need you to rail it in. I was like, wait, who's railing what? No.
I will say there is one outtake I didn't use because I couldn't cut it right. But just the individual who was talking threw out a comment and then just oh God, I said that. The audio clip was perfect, but I could not clip it enough to throw it in the outtakes reel. So believe it or not, there are even outtakes that didn't make the outtake reel.
Yes, that was probably me. Oh my God, I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. Yes, guys, it does happen. I know that you're surprised that I have a filter, but every now and then I try at least to filter some of the shit that is in my head.
I just think it's interesting. You go to the scale of what we actually put in the shows. We have the outtakes of what we don't put in the shows. And then we've got the shit we won't even put in the outtakes. So imagine what level of shit that must be. When we won't even put it in the outtakes reel.
Well, and I love that Blake sometimes has to remind us of some of the shit that comes out of our mouths because he said something. I was like, what did I say? He's like, no, we scrubbed it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was doing the editing on that particular episode and I was exhausted. I was just dead tired. So I was kind of laying there just listening to it more or less for anything to catch in my head that would stop me. And we were actually on a pretty good run. I'm listening to it kind of half out of it. And all of a sudden I hear this comment get made. I'm like, whoa, hello. Oh shit. Nope, we're not putting that in the show.
I'm like Jessi whispering sweet bullshit into my ear.
And this time it wasn't Justin.
Right? Wasn't Justin,
Fair.
and it wasn't because of alcohol. That's wonderful. Actually, I do think I was having some wine at the point, but
Thank you for all the nice thoughts about Scott. He really is doing okay. But Matt, you're right. You know, you really do have to take care of yourself. And oh boy, did Scott get a wake up call. Oh boy.
Recognizer says we put that on tape and sell it after hours.
Yeah.
hey, don't get me canceled, okay?
And thanks, Kevin Hernandez. We appreciate the nice thoughts about the community. We do have a nice group here after we had to kick one or two people out.
Without Blake.
And they still hate listening to us. That's the best part. I love
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Greg, so how does it feel to know that JMS listens to the podcast? We've all seen him tell off Scott on Twitter for things he said on the show.
Oh,
So I have to be honest, the first
Sorry
time
about
it
that.
happened, something got said on Twitter and JMS made a comment and both Scott and I went, oh shit, he heard that.
yeah.
I'm
And then it
surprised.
happened again because there was a comment I made on the show that JMS commented on Twitter as well. And it's like, ruh-roh.
I'm surprised he hasn't responded to a couple of things I've said, because there's been a couple of things where I was like, especially how he's written female characters on the show, that bugs me, and I realize this is the 90s, but I don't think that's a good excuse. Totally leaving alone female characters for long stretches of time. I'm really surprised he hasn't commented on a couple of things I've said,
So
but
we do still have 6 episodes left where JMS could comment on Kevin calling him a misogynist, which
I didn't go that far.
I'm
Nor
the one that's
would
always
I.
shitting on Sheridan, so I'm sure that's enjoyable to listen to.
so Jessi, Ryan would like you to. Jessi has knocked back some wine. Jessi was knocking some wine back when they implied Sheridan and Delenn have a sex life.
I don't believe it. So, and listen, I hope they do. I just don't want to see it because you know me, and my
We have
prudeness.
actually had to call Ryan into a special episode of the podcast specifically to call Jessi out for being a prude.
Oh God, just because it's. Ugh. They can have all the conversations they have outside of the damn bedroom, except they show them in the bedroom. And Delenn's dumb Bambi, like googly eyes, they drive me nuts.
Yep.
So Recognizer here's a theoretical. I'm curious how you think B5 would fare if it were developed now instead of the 90s and given 5 seasons.
Ooh.
I think it would depend on the network, honestly.
Yeah.
I think if Apple TV picked it up, the money that they're willing to put into development, thinking specifically for All Mankind and a few of their other shows, I think with something like Apple TV, you could be looking at a decent show. I would be worried if it went, because Warner is now part of Max with the whole HBO cluster. I would be really worried if it showed up somewhere like HBO Max and what they would put into it and what they would expect out of it. Netflix, I think, would be somewhere in between the two extremes of HBO and Apple TV, but
Except
still
that
viable.
next Netflix would cancel it after 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know which streaming service it would do the best with outside of Apple. Whether that would be like, with all the turmoil at Paramount, that's really hard to try and predict. But
Which, speaking of, dear Sherry Redstone, just fucking sell the goddamn company already.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, no, it's okay. I don't know. I'm not quite as down on Max, but you're not wrong. The whole turmoil at Warner's is kind of concerning. Oh, well, thank you very, very much.
Hey.
Thanks, Jacob. And if we do Crusade, we would love to have Ryan come on and talk with us as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, don't speak for all of us. Ryan and me are beefing, and that's what it is.
I didn't think that's what you did when you came on the show, Jessi.
That what we're calling it? Beefing?
Boy.
Is there meat involved?
Oh my.
Oh boy. Okay.
It's too early for
See,
your
this is
shit,
when we get in
Emily.
trouble.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Another potential network for that, Hulu could be a good fit also. Because
Yeah.
they've shown some interest in actually putting money into development. Amazon has as well.
I was really happy when they picked up the Orville, because I never felt particularly good about the Orville being on Fox for a number of reasons. And I know that ever since, Hulu took it over, the series creator and star, McFarland, right?
Yep.
Has said that, he's had a lot of run-ins with, Fox execs. And, there's been a few things where, he's won on. There's been some stuff that he hasn't. He has a lot of capital to use because he's made them a ton of money through Family Guy over the years. But I think, we all feel better. If you like the show, everyone feels better about it being on Hulu because, and they just, I think they're gearing up for another season. I heard finally. So
They have dropped hints at that yeah, they're going to do another season. It's not
I
confirmed. They've been dropping hints.
I hope so. I love the Orville.
yeah, the Orville's a phenomenal show.
Yeah, it's really good. I didn't think I was going to like it at first because Seth MacFarlane's comedy takes some. You either love it or you don't.
Yeah.
And I'll admit,
I
I've
feel
enjoyed
like
Family Guy, but there's pieces of it I don't like. I haven't liked some of his other stuff, but no,
Yeah.
Orville. I will say Orville was pretty much a love letter to TNG fans.
Yeah. I am not a fan of Family Guy. I don't watch it. I know the characters, but I don't watch it. I don't care for it. But after the first, I don't know, half season of the Orville, when he decided to make it still funny, but not, quite as crude a humor type, and a little bit more sophisticated, I've incredibly loved the Orville. I think the acting is great. I think the writing is fantastic. But yes, it is definitely a huge love letter to TNG
It's
fans.
kind
Well,
of
that's why
feels like if we decide to do a Star Trek series with our level of shenanigans and shit showiness.
Yeah, it's about
There's some
that's why
episodes that I'm
honestly
like,
I was worried when they talked about coming out with Lower Decks.
yeah,
Because I'm thinking, okay, we've seen this. It's called the Orville, and I will. I like Lower Decks. I have found Lower Decks to be highly entertaining as well. But I thought the Orville was going to be so much better, and they're both really good shows.
poor Jessie. She has no idea. We're over here like, hey, Star Trek, and she's like, might as well just fuck off, play on my phone,
I'm just gonna
like
look at the
on
comments.
Amazon, buy some naughty coloring books.
It's almost that time again, Emily. It's getting cooler.
So, Jessi, what type of TV do you normally watch when you're not being made to watch Babylon 5 by us crazies?
I watch a lot of what we call Death, Murder, Kill.
Okay.
The ID channel, the Dateline
Okay.
shows, the
2020.
So the happy inspirational programming on television.
Yeah, I sleep like a baby at night to the documentaries about murder.
Mallory watches some of those for sure.
Got it. So if Kevin ever goes missing, or if Jesse's husband ever goes missing, we know the first place to start considering what to look at.
I didn't do it.
Mallory was watching, this is my wife I'm talking about, sorry. Was watching a 3-part documentary about a, like, I don't want to call him serial killer, but serial attacker who was the main story was like Gone Girl. And I'm gonna have to find it because I think I want to watch it because she said it was just insanity.
Narn Hub. I do watch a lot of Narn Hub.
And Yum Yum wants to know when you're going to host a True Blood podcast.
I really want to. Listen, I don't think anybody would watch it. That's why I think that we've kind of like delayed that. I absolutely love that show, but I just don't think that I'm not Scott. I don't have the ability to Scott, I think we can all agree Scott's done some really cool things with this podcast that really surprised me. I had no experience with any kind of podcast except listening to them and watching some of the really cool shit that Scott has done with this podcast and like some of the PR stuff that he does with it. I don't have the time or the talent to do a lot of that stuff. So as much as I would love to watch True Blood all over again and do that, I don't think anybody would watch except me and Ryan.
It could be alone time with the two of you just to watch your own podcast together.
I don't think that his wife or my husband would prefer that, but there's that.
All right. So the one I was talking about is called American Nightmare, and it goes through 3 parts from different perspectives on what happened to this poor couple and follows this this perpetrator. But they find her after some time, and it sounds exactly like Gone Girl. So of course the authorities unfortunately did not believe her. And I didn't watch it personally. I saw a couple of pieces of it, but I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. It just sounded like it was crazy insane.
I like it a lot. I don't, it's just something that keeps my attention span. I like the first 48 shows too, like on A&E. I like those just because I can throw those on and not necessarily pay attention 100% of the time, but still kind of track what's going on with them. So I also like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Don't judge me.
Oh, we're judging.
So much judging.
Like what you like.
That's my junk TV that's my one guilty pleasure. So whatever.
It's okay. I can't say much. Mine is Great British Bake Off. So
Hey, that's a good show.
Right. It's not The Bachelor.
this is true. It is not The Bachelor, but yes, mine is Great British Bake Off.
I don't have a lot of time for TV, so it's usually just background noise.
I think that's me, is because I don't have a lot of time for TV. So most of what I watch, like I watch shows years after they're off the air.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think the last show I remember watching, aside from the newer Star Treks, was streaming because you can watch those whenever.
Right.
But like the last show that was on a set night, set time type thing that I remember watching, honestly, was probably The West Wing.
Mm.
Because then with work and with everything and being busy, it wasn't a lot of time to be available when the shows were on.
Yeah.
At least now with like DVRs and streaming, it makes it a little easier
Right.
that I can catch up on stuff. But I like Sons of Anarchy. I never did watch it when it was out. I watched it after the fact. I've watched all sorts of shows that are well off the air and after the fact to see and went, hey, this is fantastic. And people are gonna be like, dude, that was on like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you know what the frustrating thing is you watch something, live as it's going, and then they cancel it, and you're like, man, this was a great show. And so if you wait a couple of years, at least okay, I've got 3 seasons of this, or
Mhm.
I've got 5 seasons of this, or whatever, and you don't feel cheated. But when you really like, the one that got me was, it was the I'm gonna draw a blank on his name, but it was an NBC show called Life, and I'm trying to remember his name. It's Damian something. Damian Lewis. So that was when he was really becoming, a bigger star. And this is, before he did the other shows he's been on. But they did 2 seasons of Life, and then they canceled it. And it's still one of my favorite shows. It was amazing. And then, of course, Sarah Shahi's gone on to do other stuff. Adam Arkin's been in stuff. Danelle Logue went on to do Gotham after that. The list goes on. There was quite a few stars on that show, but it was a police procedural. But the hook was that he had been a police officer, and he got sent up for murder that he didn't commit, and then he was in like 8 or 10 years, and then got out because they figured out he didn't do it. And then, as he's out and becoming, going back into police work again as a detective, he's also secretly trying to figure out who set him up. And fantastic show, but it never got to conclude because there's only 2 seasons of it. But that's a good way to watch shows,
Mhm.
wait until they're off the air, and or at least they've been going for a few seasons, but people are still talking about it. I know there were people who were like, well, Suits isn't going to make it, so I'm not going to watch it. And then of course it went forever. So
I need to go back and watch that because I caught bits and pieces of it and I liked it. I just never was able to see it
yeah,
all.
I need to see it all too.
The other one I liked, what the hell was it? It had Matt Bomer, the girl from Saved by the Bell in it. It was also on US.
White Collar, I've been rewatching it.
I loved that show.
White Collar was awesome. Kelly Kapowski.
Mhm.
Okay, so funny story, and my husband will probably hate me for telling you all this. We are now on our like second watch of it. We're like on what, season 3, season 4. He's like, man, she really is familiar. So we like checked IMDb, and he realized that's Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell. And then I had to stare at him with a look of shock and horror, like it's taking you this long, dude. She looks the same. She essentially looks the same. Like how?
Right.
So yes,
Yeah, it's witchcraft. It has to be.
she looks damn good in that show.
Have you
It's
guys
good.
seen the Watcher on Netflix?
We watched the pilot, and I don't think we went back to watch the rest of it.
Dude, I binged. It's got like 7 episodes. I binged the whole damn thing in like a day. I was obsessed with that show. It just got weirder and weirder and weirder. So, it's my type of shit.
We specialize in weird here at Grade 17.
That's why I get along with you guys.
Ryan says there's always a canceled series that you hold near and dear. I really liked Reaper and Pushing Daisies. Pushing Daisies was good. I will say for me, the canceled, not really canceled, but ended show that I still hold near and dear and will rewatch all the time is West Wing. I do go back and rewatch it. I'm currently at the tail end of a rewatch now, and it started because I saw a clip of West Wing on TikTok and wanted to go back and watch the episode, and now I'm about to start season 7.
That's one that I never watched that you guys were always like, God, you guys watched it the entire time I've known you, I guess. And you guys have watched it 1,000 times and have always talked about it, and I've never seen it.
I love West Wing.
Gustavo asked, have you seen Eureka? Yes. Eureka is actually one of my favorite shows. That and Warehouse 13 both. So really do enjoy those. Just finished a rewatch of Eureka a few months ago, actually. So that would be another one in the future if there was ever folks interested in doing a podcast to do Eureka or Warehouse 13. Both of those are really good shows that I enjoyed.
I haven't seen either one of those either.
Mm-mm.
You would like Eureka, Kevin.
Okay. That wouldn't surprise me. I was so, what's the word I'm looking? I was so disappointed by a couple of sci-fi shows in that era that I kind of wrote off Warehouse 13 as something I probably wouldn't have liked, but I've heard good things about it over the years. I should probably check it out.
And I'll admit, the first season of Warehouse 13, the first few episodes, I'm like, I don't know. And then it just clicked and I ended up watching the whole thing.
Is it X-Files-y? Is that what I've heard?
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Shannon. I gotta say hi.
A little bit more lighter hearted than X-Files, not as dark as what X-Files could be.
Okay.
Ryan wants to know, Jessi, you don't care much for the sci-fi shows, but are there any that you would want to check out in the future?
Listen, I don't hate sci-fi. I just I never got into it. I would like to check out no. What's the Deep Space
Deep Space Nine?
Not Deep Space 5. I would like, they're talking about doing a rewatch of one of those, and I'm gonna hop in on that. But no, I'm down to watch whatever. I'll watch anything. Clearly, I'm 5 fucking seasons into a show that I had never heard of, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if I had, I probably would have watched it all over again. No, it's not that bad. Actually, I've very much enjoyed it.
Just given where you watch some of the mystery and other stuff, Jessi, I almost think it could be interesting to get you to watch 12 Monkeys.
I still haven't watched that yet.
TV show based on it.
Oh, okay.
I think it could be interesting to get you to watch 12 Monkeys. Plus, it has time travel, and we all know how much you love that.
Dude, I started reading that book for real. Like, I sat down and started to read it. And that book is So the book is not a front to back cover book. It's you can jump in anywhere and start said book from any chapter. And it's interesting. I put it down because it made my head hurt. So
So for those that maybe don't know what we're talking about, when we had one of the early episodes, I think it might have even been the episode in season 1 with time travel.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And we went through that, and Jessi could not wrap her head around time travel and just was not into the time travel at all. Well, we decided to do at Christmas that year a Gray 17 gift exchange. And I got Jessi as the person I was to buy a gift for. And on Jessi's list were some things, and one of them was like a really nice barbecue thermometer. So I got that for her because I love to cook. So I ordered Jessi the barbecue thermometer. Jessi got me a very nice set of crystal stemware for my office bar that is actually located back behind me. But I decided to add a little something extra to Jessi's present, and I sent her a book on time travel, specifically so she could get well versed on time travel. And she pretty much immediately knew it was me because she said, A, the cooking thing, but 2, that was just a dick move to send the time travel book.
Yes, it
I
was.
knew immediately who it was once I got that book.
You
You
had,
did warn me that you were going to kill me for that, but
you had to have burst out laughing when you saw that book.
I did. Well, and I know who got me. I know who got me the thermometer too, because like Blake cooks. And I can't stop thinking about another phrase that we say all the time. But yeah, Blake cooks, and and I knew that he had gotten it for me. So yes.
Kevin, there's all sorts of Stargate love going on in the chat.
I love Stargate. It's so good.
Are you talking about that flag?
Birds are not real.
Dude, people are crazy. I'm not gonna like the whole like the government removed all the birds and replaced them with robots thing. It's like it's a hee to us, but like there's actually people out there that believe that.
I just finished listening to an audiobook, The Secret History of Bigfoot. Oh, that was a doozy. That was
Oh,
something special.
Yeah,
I would-
Ryan, I have not heard of Awake, but if it's got Jason Isaacs in it, I would be willing to check it out because he's a fantastic actor.
I'm just curious why there's a whole bunch of birds are not real flags flying over Greenwich Village.
Oh boy.
Now I'm
Yeah.
curious what's going on in Greenwich Village that we have birds are not real flags flying.
Oh, Continuum was very good. Yes,
Mhm.
Neil, I agree. Continuum was very good. And I especially liked the lead actress for that series. Very good, very easy on the eyes.
Greg, we accept your apology.
What's Greg's apology for?
As a New Yorker, I apologize that my city produced the most disgusting orange in human history. We are ashamed.
Gustavo, buddy, you got to try out Atlantis again. It's really good. It's so my wife and I have this thing that she had never been interested at all in SG1, but she had seen Atlantis and she loves Atlantis. So then finally she looked at me one night and she's like, you know what I kind of want to watch? SG1. And I'm like, oh my God, really? Okay, let's watch it. And she watched it and she really liked it, but she really still likes Atlantis slightly more. And I go the other way. I think I like SG1 a little bit more, but I think they're both very good for a little bit different reasons. But Atlantis and SG1 are both very good.
I did like Atlantis, and I will say I think I liked Atlantis a little bit more than SG1.
I understand. The dynamic was a little bit different.
I agree with Ryan. Universe was good as well. I liked Universe.
It took me a while to really warm up to Universe because whether you like it or you don't, it is very different than the other two Stargate series.
Mhm.
So it took me a while to warm up to it and to warm up to the characters because it was very much in the Ronald Moore, these are very flawed characters. And that that type of writing does not always land with me quite as well as more heroic type characters. But there's a couple of characters on Universe that I really ended up liking quite a bit, and I wish that they had gotten a third season and maybe had been able to wrap up the series. It's a shame they couldn't, but I did like it more the second time I watched it, but I also it's by far the least good of the three series in my opinion.
It's interesting you mentioned Ronald D. Moore and some of them, and I think it's one of the things that we talk about Star Trek as a series, and one of the reasons I do not like some of the Berman years. You look at some of the folks that worked on Star Trek who then basically got chased off by Berman
Yeah.
and went off and created. So Michael Piller, who was showrunner for DS9, he got chased off. He went and ended up doing The Dead Zone with Anthony Michael Hall, which is another show that I liked at the time. You had another one that went and did the 4400. You had the BSG reboot. So you had all of these creatives who basically got ran out of Star Trek at one point or another with Berman,
Yeah.
going off and creating some of the best sci-fi of that time period across multiple different networks. So
Yeah. And yet he kept Brandon Braga around. Wasn't that a fantastic idea?
that was a fucking brilliant idea. Robert would like to know, Emily is not a Bigfoot believer. You would think so if you ever saw one.
Oh boy.
Did you get pictures?
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Right. I just don't understand how, like, every time we see these pictures of Bigfoot, they're like somebody's shooting them on like a Polaroid camera that.
Jessi, if you understood part of the rural Pacific Northwest, that may be the only type of camera they have.
If you listen to the audiobook, it explains all of it in
Oh.
some very interesting detail.
I always make the joke that I'm white, but not get out of the car and chase a Bigfoot white. So,
No, I'm not either, but I would absolutely get out of the car to pet a lion white.
Wow.
And this
Yeah.
is how I die.
So Yum
It's
Yum
friend-shaped.
wants to know if any of us have watched Sense8 and what are your thoughts on JMS working in the age of streaming. So I have watched Sense8. I was a big fan of that show. I wish it would have been given a little bit longer to wrap up, that they would have given it the final season it deserved and not canceled it and then did that wrap up movie. I think that it was a great show and could have been wrapped up a lot better than what it was. But overall, I think it was good. And I think the streaming format worked for it. And that is one thing I think with JMS's style of writing. I think he could actually work with the streaming setup rather well. With the tighter storylines, he doesn't have to worry about filling X number of episodes or timelines, so he could actually work the episodes better to the story rather than having to meet the confines of broadcast television.
I think the glass box that he wrote would make for a really interesting movie or series.
Yeah.
Ryan, yeah, I see what you're saying about Braga. I know he's working on the Orville. I get that. But his late 90s, early 2000s Voyager treatments,
Yeah.
not great, not great. But I really did like the reboot with Neil deGrasse Tyson of the documentary series, which is really help me out, Blake.
Cosmos?
Yeah, Cosmos.
Cosmos.
Thank you, Emily.
Sorry, I had to think about that for a minute.
Yeah, I really liked that, and I know that was basically just a okay, McFarlane, we're just going to do this for you because you won't stop pestering us about it. And so then they brought in, Braga and Neil deGrasse Tyson to help out with that series. I thought that was really good. I wish they had done more with that. I'm not saying Braga is, zero talent, but his Voyager stuff is bad.
Greg brings up JMS's script for The Changeling. That one, and worked in the Sheridan motto into the movie. If you've read his book, for those of you that listen to us, we pump his book a lot for telling people to read it because it is a great story that he talks about his life and the various challenges he faced. But listening, or if you go into The Changeling, which he wrote, and listen to how he got that story and how much of his life he dedicated to writing that and getting that, there was a lot of work there, and I would actually be willing to bet it was the other way around, that he didn't so much work the Sheridan family motto into the movie as much as he used bits and pieces of that to influence B5, because he was working on that before he even started Babylon 5. He was working on that back when he was a journalist.
Thank you, Benway. Sorry you gotta work, bro.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I would love to talk about Enterprise with Ryan, because I almost like Enterprise more than Voyager. And I really wish that they had wrapped up Enterprise better. The ending of it is not great, but
Oh, it pissed me off.
yeah.
It was Riker on a holodeck in the middle of one of the shitty TNG episodes.
And I go back and forth on season 3, the entire story arc, of season 3, but I thought that the first 2 seasons had some really strong episodes, and I kind of liked how they were doing the two-parters in season 4, and there's some good ones in there. Okay, so Ryan and I are apparently going to fight about Voyager and Enterprise. I'm sorry, I would much rather watch Enterprise than Voyager.
Before
guys
you
wake
two
me up when
start,
you're
let the
done.
rest of us open a betting pool.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jesse's gonna nap while we talk about
When you guys
stuff.
are done, I'm gonna take a quick nap because I'm literally over here like.
Okay, we don't have to keep talking
No,
about.
have at it. Please, just wake me up when you're done.
See, aren't you glad you had this idea, Jessi?
I am. I wanted to play like Would You Rather, but
Well, if you
know
want to throw
what?
some would you rathers at us, go ahead.
all right.
I
give me
would
a
love
second.
to see Jessi watch Enterprise though and get her take on Archer.
Can it be
No,
Star
because she'll
Trek? Would
kill
you
each and
rather?
every one
Oh,
of
I'm
us.
sorry.
Would you rather? I don't know anything about Star Trek.
I
I'll be
know.
right back. I gotta go find my cards.
Jessi will be right back with some would you rather cards.
The EMH and 7 is better than any character in Enterprise. Okay.
Defend yourself, sir.
Okay. So my favorite character on Enterprise is probably, well, I like Hoshi a lot. I like Trip a lot. I like them all, although they're not quite as robust a characters as some of the other series. But I really wish they had done more with a couple of the characters, like Mayweather, for example. I don't feel like they did quite enough with him. I really liked Phlox a lot. And he did get, several episodes, dedicated to him, which I thought was really cool. But
They had interesting mating habits.
yeah. To Paul, I like the character. It's one of those situations though where you either like taking the Vulcans in that direction or you super don't. And they're I don't know that there's a lot of in between with that. There's the book. There's the
This is
book.
There
And,
there we are.
yes, it was interesting, to say the least.
So did you find your would you rather cards?
I did. I did.
All right, so Jessi's got to throw some would you rather. Are these going to be for the group, or are you going to call on us specifically?
We can just do, what do you think? By the group?
We can do that.
Okay. I'm just gonna pull random ones. I'm not gonna be like trying to find good ones. You just get what you get.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
No.
Okay.
Oh God, she's already laughing.
Yeah. Would you rather never be able to talk to any of your family members again, or reveal your first impression of everyone the moment you see them a second time?
Oh dear.
I'm pretty
Is
sure
it the entire family, or do we get to pick and choose?
Nope, it
Yeah.
says any of your family members. I'm going with the first impression because it's Hunger Games time, bitches.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll have to go with that
Yeah.
one too.
yeah, I'd go
There
with that one.
are a handful of family members I do actually like talking to.
Yeah, I like my mom. So
Sounds like my career is going to take a nosedive, but okay.
well, mine's not going to change much. Okay. Would you rather have legs for arms or have a mosquito buzzing around your head whenever you're trying to go to sleep? I think
Oh.
I know what Kevin's would be.
Oh boy.
Considering you almost burned down his house trying to get rid of the cricket.
I really didn't, but
Well,
The cricket that only you two heard, by the way.
no, that's not true. Because listen, I went back and listened to that recording and I could hear it again. You can't tell me it was just me, that everybody else heard it too.
yeah, come on. Like
I think you guys put the cricket there to make us feel
that
crazy.
cricket was so loud. Oh my God, it was so loud.
All I could hear was the damn cricket. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's happening?
And I'd probably go
so
with the mosquito buzzing because I'm used to annoying things when I'm trying to sleep.
so you don't want legs for arms?
Not really.
I definitely don't want arms
sounds
for legs or
terrible.
legs for arms.
Okay. Anybody in Jason?
Robert's going to go with the mosquito.
Yeah, I like it. Okay.
Chasing the cricket around like Londo with his sword. Yeah.
We actually referenced that. There's an outtake for that just didn't make the episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gustavo says he didn't hear the cricket either.
God damn.
What episode was that?
Whatever the last one we posted was, because I was hosting it.
Okay.
I feel like this is a test to see how crazy you can make Jessi feel. Okay. Would you rather lose the ability to lie or be locked in an insane asylum until you can prove your sanity?
Considering I do this podcast once a week with all of you motherfuckers, I think the second one seems kind of easy.
Right. I don't need the ability to lie because I'm a little straightforward, so I think I would be okay.
If you've seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, you're going to go with number one, and that's what I'm going with. I'll just lose my ability to lie.
My favorite.
I can always shut my mouth.
We were in our group chat.
Yeah, true.
We were in our group chat the other day, and somebody had asked a very nice, like, stepping on eggshells type of question, and I just asked flat out another question, and the first person was like, well, wow, that's kind of where I was leading to. I'm like, sorry, subtlety has never really been my thing. My bad. You get what you get. Okay. What the fuck? Okay. Would you rather lose your short-term memory or have a full-sized elephant trunk in place of your nose?
I'll lose the short-term memory.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wait,
Has anyone seen them?
6 of them?
Okay, but the things you could do with the trunk just to fuck with people, it's a lot of fun. Because you could like tap them on the
You are
shoulder
always for the
and then
shenanigans.
Okay, that's not where I thought she was going, though, so I'm glad she left it where she did.
Yes, that's true. I'm glad she went with what she did.
Yeah.
They said trunk. I'm assuming it's the face one, not the back end one.
Oh no. Can we have 6 of them? If I can have 6 of them, I'll take the trunk.
Oh no.
That would be a lot of weight, though.
Is this a Centauri thing?
It would be a Centauri thing.
6 elephant trunks on your back.
The dirty elephant trunk. Oh no. Okay.
I love that our fans are as bad as we are.
Yeah.
Most of our fans are as bad as we are. That's why they hang out with us. So
This is true.
Okay.
They
Would you
found their
rather
people.
would you rather get attacked by a shark or wake up tomorrow not remembering who anyone else is? How bad is the shark attack? Like, am I gonna lose a whole limb?
Sharks really freak me out, so I guess I'll have to go with the second one.
Gustavo wants the trunk.
I'm with him. Okay,
Shenanigans you can have with an elephant trunk.
Yes, I'm telling you right now. And nobody would fuck with me. Everybody would leave me alone. People would not want to be around me. Okay. These are weird. Okay, would you only want to be able to read out loud or spend every day on an airplane? I'm
Ooh.
jumping that airplane. Where are we going?
Depends. Are we getting first class seats on the airplane, or are we
Yeah.
stuck in coach?
Yeah, I
Because
need
if
more
we're in first class
information.
where you can get unlimited drinks and everything,
Yes.
cool. Sign me up for the plane. If they're sticking
Well,
us
and
in, Southwest economy, fuck it. We'll go with
Yes.
option one.
how
Am I
many crying
stuck-
babies are on the plane?
Yeah.
Yes, right. Am I stuck in a middle seat between somebody that wants to talk to me the whole time and then the other side has a baby that screams the whole time?
So Greg says Jaws traumatized me as a kid. Do you want to hear something? I've never seen Jaws.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, never seen it.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. I don't like sharks. I'm not saying I wouldn't watch Jaws, but I've never seen it. I also have never seen Rocky.
Who's asking for more, Jessi? Do you know what you're asking for?
Would you rather try Spoo or Flarn? I'm gonna go with Flarn.
Larn, yeah.
Boo.
Was Flarn more of a solid tofu like texture?
Yes, if I remember correctly from the B5 cookbook, Spoo was the one with seafood, scallops, and milk, I believe.
Oh,
Oh, no.
absolutely not. No.
Yep, I'm
Yeah,
gonna-
Thank you.
Larn, yeah. I am trusting Minbari cooking much more than I am Centauri cooking.
Yeah, no, just based on the name, if I didn't know what either one of them were, I would go with Spoo. But Flarn, I'm not doing the milk and the seafood, so
It was milky oyster. It was milky scallops, if I remember
And it
correctly.
had to be
Okay.
aged too. I just
Thankfully, that wasn't in the B5 cookbook.
okay. But
okay.
in the show they talk about how it
It had to
needed
be
to be
aged.
aged. I'm not interested in Spoo. Please keep it away from me.
That's what she said.
Oh, Ciderbro says they are my number one fan. I think you might have to fight Shannon for that title, but hey, we could get the Jello ring out. I'm down. I don't want to participate, but I will volunteer Shannon for that. Okay, ready? Would you rather absolutely be convinced that you're at a center of a conspiracy theory that is not true, okay? Or get tackled by an NFL linebacker running at full speed? I'm
Well,
taking
Jesse, you're convinced you're already in number one.
I think we're in a what do they call it? I think somebody's playing Sims with us, a simulation.
So Jesse thinks we're in the Matrix.
But nobody's giving me the chance to take the pills, so I'm kind of pissed off right now.
Knowing where you live, I mean, that's just a matter of going to the right street corner, Jesse.
Dude, don't start with me. You're
And I'll
not
take the
wrong.
getting tackled option.
Yeah, me
Oh.
too. I'm getting tackled once. I'll have to live with it.
I'm convinced that we have beef. That's not a conspiracy theory, Ryan. You came on a whole podcast one time and called me out. We have beef. There's
That was one of our better moments when Jesse's going on and says, and next thing you know, Ryan's going to call me a prude again. Hold, please.
and then he jumped on
All
and
of a
called
sudden,
me
here he is.
Skeletor wants Spoo. I
No.
don't know why we're talking about Skeletor.
God,
Okay.
that brings back so many bad. I'll just let that one go.
Oh,
Jesse
Oh,
gets it.
she's excited.
You know exactly what I mean.
No, thank you. Moving on.
Yeah,
Okay.
moving on.
Would you rather approach every old person you see, steal their cane, and run away laughing? Oh, I take that one. I don't care what the other one is. Or would you rather get a tattoo of a 6-pack of beer on your abdomen? I'm taking people's canes.
Yeah, I'm going with that one. That just sounds fun.
Can I give them back though? Because I can't keep them forever.
That's not. You can give them back after.
After you run away.
The realization that I would have to do that to my own mother. Oh boy.
Yeah, but I would do it to my dad in a second. In fact, I might do that tomorrow and just see what happens. Oh. Okay. I'd like to move on from Skeletor now, please. Okay. Ooh, oh, no, would you never hit puberty? Or have your cell phone only be able to charge to 10%? I guess I've got a dead phone.
Yeah, I guess I do too.
Yeah, so much for the phone.
Weird.
Yeah, that was really strange.
I'll just
Why would I
make
wanna
sure
do
my friends have charged cell phones so that I can use theirs.
And
that?
the mega battery save mode.
Oh, jeez. Okay, would you rather steal? This makes me nauseous. Would you rather
Oh,
steal
great.
food off of a stranger's plate every time you go out to eat? Or sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl without practicing beforehand?
Oh dear.
I am a terrible singer, so I'm
I
going with,
will I'll do that. I'll do it at the Super Bowl.
I don't
No.
like to eat other people's food. It makes me,
Yeah, I'd have to do the Super Bowl thing.
Ugh.
Besides, think of the money you
thinks
could make when you
of-
went viral for being so bad.
Indeed.
Who thinks of these questions? I'm concerned.
I don't know. This next one is even weirder. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Would you rather have your butt in the front or bathe in a bathtub full of glitter?
Oh.
Glitter?
Oh.
Yeah, but like glitter.
Okay. Glitter, I guess.
I mean, I'm going with glitter because I definitely don't want my butt in the front.
Right.
Right?
But
Yeah, but I'm gonna go
If
with
it
glitter because I
smells-
have a shower.
yes,
Right.
yes. But if
Yeah.
it smells like vanilla and daddy issues, I'm done. Like we're done. I don't want to do
Where are you taking this bath at, Jesse? Jesus.
the strip club, Blake. The strip club.
We had
Okay.
we had a teacher that literally had his butt in the front. It was bad.
Oh no.
He got so made fun of. I felt really bad for the guy.
Oh no. That's
Yeah.
sad. But did he really have his butt in the front, or did it just look like a butt?
Yes, it just looked like it.
Okay. Well, then he didn't really have his. Okay, we're moving on.
He kind of
All right.
did.
Would you rather wake up every morning unable to remember who you are? I feel like we've been here before. Or have fingers as long as your forearms? Oh, I'm
Oh,
going with the
totally.
fingers.
And I'm just saying it depends on what you want to do with the fingers.
Who's seen Memento with Guy Pearce?
Nice diversion, Kevin.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Kevin?
You never seen that movie with Guy Pearce?
No, I haven't.
It's he loses the ability to make new memories,
Oh,
and he is convinced that there's some sort of conspiracy, and so it takes the whole movie to flush that out, whether that's true or not. It's a really good movie.
Oh, okay. So you watched the whole thing.
Yes, it's very good.
Okay. Okay. Neil, can we talk about the Hawk 2 girl for a second?
Here we go.
I did not also see her starting a a pet charity, but good for her. I'm sure her parents are proud of her.
Yes, very proud that their daughter started a charity for pets by talking about spitting on a dick on the internet.
On that thing. Okay.
it could have been worse.
It could have been way worse. Could have been a
Yeah.
video of said act. Okay.
I mean, there could have been like a demonstration, so
Yeah, I knew Ryan. I knew the director that was famous, but I couldn't remember who it was. I was just doing the Wikipedia and saw that. Yeah, it's a Christopher Nolan film. It's a fantastic movie.
there's Kevin just going along, like trying to have a normal conversation.
It's just like the podcast, isn't it? All y'all with your shenanigans and me. Like,
Right.
all
Kevin's
right,
like, no.
Daddy's trying to
He's
keep
trying
us
to
on
reel it
track
back
here.
in. He's trying to rail it back in. Greg, happily just Google who the Hawk 2 girl is, and I'm sure you will have a wonderful experience. Okay.
Do I need to do that on like safe mode or?
I mean,
Yes.
you could, yes.
We
you could
recommend safe mode
definitely-
and Greg, don't do it on a work computer. Do it on
Yeah.
your personal computer or personal phone.
Right. No government phones, please. And thank you. Okay. Next question. Would you rather have a portable toilet fall over while you're using it? Oh God, that's
Oh,
Ooh.
number
Oh, dear
two, and I
God.
don't care what it is. Or spend the next 24 months on a submarine that can't surface due to a threat of nuclear war. I'm going with the submarine
Yeah,
all day
I'll take the
long.
submarine.
Yeah.
Right. Ah, oh, that sounds terrible and I hate it. Okay. Let's grab
I
some
think
more.
I hate the person who wrote that question. 'Cause
Right.
I want to meet the person who says yes to the first option.
Right.
No, I'm moving on from both of those.
Okay, so have you ever seen the Netflix show about how they create sex rooms? Because there might be
No,
some
I have
new
not.
for one.
What's a sex room? Am I missing something? Are these things?
Where the hell did we?
What? Wait a minute. I'm 43. I need to know what a sex room is. What else?
Is that still on Netflix? Hold on, I gotta check and
Oh
see
dear
if it's still
God!
on. It was a good show. Oh my God, it was hilarious. It's like how to
See, this is
design
how
a
our shows go: is
It
we're
really
having a
is.
perfectly fine conversation, and then here comes Emily with the smut.
At what point in our run did Emily become the shenanigans girl? Because it didn't used to be this way.
I was gonna say,
We
just
had
because
to.
the shenanigans person left does not mean we created a job opening for another one.
happened was I am not a farmer and my field of fucks is barren and I don't know what to do. So I've become a menace.
Can somebody help her with her barren field of fucks, please?
Oh,
I need to know what a sex room is,
Okay,
please.
so it's a show on Netflix. It's called How to Build a Sex Room. It's still there. It's great. You should watch it. This woman who designs rooms is just fucking hilarious. But people have all sorts of just styles of rooms they would like to engage in their kinks and fetishes. And one of the rooms required a drain in the floor.
oh,
No.
Jesus.
Clutch my pearls. I am a prude because no fucking thank
Yep.
you.
That was the one where I was like, okay, that's way too far. We don't. No.
Okay. So no, no, thank you, Emily. I will not be dragged into your fucking shit today.
That's the one episode where I was like, okay, this is actually taking it too far. That's
Oh
a
God,
hard line.
I want everybody to please examine Exhibit A of what happens on our fucking podcast every goddamn time. Ooh.
Yeah, it usually is my fault.
I just thought
It
a sex
really
room was
is.
where you just, if you had sex there, that's a sex room. No, we have drains.
Okay, Cider Barrel in our chat wants us to make sure that your ceiling trusses can hold at least 400 pounds.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
Okay.
good tip: if you're going to build one of those rooms, make sure to have reinforced
Yes.
trusses and beams and
You want to
And
make
the support beam, please.
yeah, there's certain structures you absolutely want to make sure they're
Okay, Ryan's comment: Jessi will now be kinder to the Lita sex scene after hearing about the drain in the floor.
If I have to, no, yes, I will, Ryan. If I have to choose the Lita sex scene over watching somebody use a drain, I'm fucking going with the Lita sex
they
scene.
don't show how they use the rooms. They show how they design the room.
I don't want to know why you need a drain. There are so many different things that, oh, no.
Yeah, I had a few things pop into my brain after I heard
Look,
that.
I didn't want to know
don't
either,
wanna go
but I
down
know
this
and I had to
road.
share. I had to get that out of my head. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Inkspot, maybe change the channel name to Gray 69.
That
Don't
would
encourage
probably
us.
be more reasonable. Good God.
Gray 17 after dark.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go like some weird like BDSM shit where they like just build like big
Oh, they have those too.
Who said a
Jesus.
drain?
I'm sure they do.
Jessi, shut up.
Can we go on?
This channel really is like Cinemax back in the day, where it was perfectly
Yeah.
normal till about 10 p.m. and then something entirely fucking different. Yeah, that's us.
Oh God.
Oxygen. It was the Oxygen channel.
Oh. It was on public TV, like cable? What?
No, in college we had cable and there was the Oxygen channel. So then you'd have like the Talk Sex with Sue, and then that would transition to like whatever came after that. I don't know.
Ryan, go find a bar of soap and wash your mouth out. Who on B5 needs the drain? That's
Oh,
gross.
it's not fucking me. I can tell you that much for sure.
No, I think
I'm gonna
he
say
means
Mike. It's always
on the
quiet ones.
show. I think he means on the show and
The
not
TV
grade 17.
characters, not us.
Yeah.
'cause you.
I don't think he's yeah, still.
It's Garibaldi all day long.
Really not a discussion I would yeah, probably.
You're in it.
It's Monkey Man Bartender.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, I miss that guy.
Pouring all
Okay.
the drinks.
Next question, please. Would you rather be unable to understand sarcasm or run barefoot across a football field covered in Legos?
What were the options again?
Be unable to understand sarcasm, so i.e. never be able to be on this podcast again, or run barefoot across a football field of Legos.
Bring on the Legos.
Yep. I'm doing Legos because I can't handle the no, yeah.
Benway, sweet baby Jesus, I'm glad I stayed up.
Yeah. Us too,
Glad we
Benway,
could
us
entertain.
too.
I guess I'm gonna have to take the Sheldon Cooper route and not understand sarcasm because I am not running across a football field of Legos.
Yeah.
Thing is, with the Legos, you'd eventually come to an end. The sarcasm thing, you're screwed.
True,
Time.
which I know
Yeah.
I gave as a reason for something else, taking the tackle, but
See,
Hey,
Devin,
maybe knock out two at one time. Run across the field of Legos, get tackled at the same time, knock both out at one time.
yes.
yeah, imagine getting tackled onto a pile of Legos though.
Oh,
Ouch.
that would
Ow.
hurt.
Steve, it's not too soon to turn around and exit and act like you didn't hear what you just heard
Yeah,
because
Steve, we don't know what you walked into either. We really. Oh God, Ryan, Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah,
what did Ryan say?
He's just trolling us now.
Is he trying to encourage me in shenanigans?
Yes.
Ryan, put the eggplant away.
Hey, Ryan. Oh, okay. Moving on. Would you rather have your high school yearbook photo become a meme? It should be if you haven't seen it, or never trim your fingernails again.
Ooh, first
So
one.
I'm going to take the high school yearbook photo because I actually did not have one.
Why?
No, see, that's cheating.
And I'm fine with it. I'm going to take the cheating way. I actually do not have a high school yearbook photo.
So I do not play with my fingernails. My fingernails are always done. So, yeah, it's a no for me. To be fair, my high school yearbook should be a meme.
Well, I will say technically, if we want to be technical about it, I'm a high school dropout.
With a high school dropout with how many master's degrees?
2 master's degrees and an executive certificate from Georgetown.
There it is. So yeah.
But technically, yes, a dropout.
Let me see if I can find my yearbook.
But you have a regular diploma, don't you?
Not real. Maybe it's complicated.
Oh, okay.
So there was an issue with my high school, and I ended up walking out halfway through my senior year. And I had been doing dual enrollment at community college. The community college said, "We'll take you, no problem. You don't need this shit."
Yeah.
So I did that, and the regional superintendent of schools said, no, we do need to get you some high school completion. So they had me sit in a alt ed program in another district for 2 weeks for residency purposes.
Okay.
So I technically have the alt ed degree from that district,
Okay.
which they made my original school district pay about $14,000 for, which was fun. But someone at the school district that I left went in after the fact and modified my transcript and transferred grades in from the community college and listed that I graduated early. So technically, I have both the alt ed degree and a high school degree from the original high school. It's interesting. And I didn't know about that till I had to get transcripts for an internship. That one internship I got as an undergrad, they wanted your high school transcripts. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. So I go pull them and they give it to me, and it listed me as a graduate of December 21. And I'm like, or December 01 instead of the year it should have been. I'm like, okay, this is new.
Don't think that I have said photo.
But yes, I am a high school dropout with 2 master's degrees, dual Greek honors, and executive certificate in policy.
He's a nerd, guy.
I am. I have all 4 of them framed over on a wall across from me.
I don't have my degrees on my wall at work because they have my maiden name on them.
Cider Barrel, as you might have seen on Facebook, I have a 3+ hour round trip to work every day, and I binged every episode in the span of almost 2 months. You all kept me laughing every morning and evening. We are glad we could be part of your commute and that we have entertained you, and stay tuned for more from us.
Yeah.
Our
Sorry.
shenanigans are not done.
Sorry for us.
Greg's high school yearbook features a Bester quote. It should be a meme. Greg, now we're curious.
Okay, that needs to be shared. We need
Yes.
Yeah, we need to know what quote was in that so we can accurately assess that.
Yes, please. Where's my damn albums?
All right, what are some more would you rathers, Jessi?
Okay, hold please. Okay. Would you rather have the police release a sketch of a murder suspect that looks exactly like you, or have a small stream of chocolate pudding constantly leaking from your ear?
I'd rather look
All right,
like
I'm with Emily. Who are the people that write these?
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Anyway. I think I'm gonna go with the police sketch.
Yeah,
This
me
company
too.
bitches
Yeah, the
does
police
that
sketch.
fine. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Okay, moving on. What's the next one? Okay, would you rather feel like you constantly need to pee or never travel further than 10 miles from your home again?
What were
I'm
those
going
again,
with the
Jessi?
Job.
Constantly feel like you need to pee or never travel further than 10 miles from your job. Yeah, I'm going with the travel because then I don't have to work. I don't have to do shit. No.
Yeah, probably that one. Because I work from home, so there we go.
Right. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Would you rather dress like you did in middle school for the rest of your life?
Oh God, no.
Hell no.
Uh-huh. Or
Okay, but the
answer every
mid-90s
call.
was
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was rough. Or answer every call from a telemarketer and engage in conversation with them until they hang up. Well,
Oh, hell, I do that already.
now.
Number 2, I already do that.
Yes.
The Inkspot says we should change the channel name to 2 Girls, 1 Kosh.
Nice.
Let's do
Robert
that.
says when you get to my age, peeing often is a given.
What about 2 girls, 1 kosh, and a pizza place?
Jesus.
Sorry.
Well,
Have you
there's
ever
the 90s
seen-
again.
Yeah,
Have you guys
right.
been to you've been to Starved Rock? Anybody?
Yeah.
Mhm.
They had a bakery out there that was 2 girls, 1 cupcake.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. No.
bunch of degens.
I think my middle school wardrobe consisted of a lot of like band t-shirts and flannels. I had an unhealthy obsession with Kurt Cobain, so I don't know.
So you dressed like 90s lesbian?
Basically, yes. Airwalks were a thing before they came.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
were like the skater shoes. Yep, that was my phase through middle school. Okay. Would you rather only be able to sleep in crowded public places? That's a fuck no. Or
Uh-uh.
live in the desert without air conditioning? Oh my God.
Crowded
would
public
not.
places.
Yeah.
My air conditioning is broken for everybody that knows that doesn't know right now. My my air conditioning has been broken for a week, and it's like literally one of the hottest weeks of the year in Illinois. And I legit cussed 2 different people out yesterday because they won't come fix it. And yes, so I'm gonna have to sleep in a crowded place because I just like to
Jessi
be
Ciderborough would like to know where your BS and snake milking comes from.
Harvard of the Midwest. You may know it. It's Macomb, Illinois. Also known as Western Illinois. Oh, they have a
Very
really
popular
great,
program at Western is snake
yes,
milk.
they have a great program there. It's one of the top ones in the country. You should try it out. Let's see. Would you rather have each new day be slightly more boring than the last, or be unable to chew with your mouth closed? I'm going both ways.
Ooh.
I think I know how some coworkers of mine have chosen on that one before.
Oh no. Okay. I would like to be boring.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be
Yeah,
boring.
probably boring.
I'm already boring.
Okay.
You said it.
No, I don't like to talk about that in public. Okay.
What do we like to talk about in public?
No, I don't want to. I don't even want to read it. Okay. Would you we can talk about that on the next episode of our podcast. Would you rather be unable to use the following words, the and to be of, or constantly feel like you're covered in ants?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Like what kind of
As someone who
conversation?
edits this podcast, please, folks, choose one.
Yeah.
What kind of conversation can you have without those words, though?
Not much.
Yeah, I don't want to be covered in ants, though. So there's that.
Or even feel like it. Oh.
Right. Would you rather not be able to turn left? Would you rather be unable to turn left or have a chronic runny nose? Right turns it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
Can't stand runny noses.
you can eventually get there.
Find creative ways. Okay. Would you rather look 20 years older than you are, or panhandle for at least $5 every day, or else lose all the money in your bank account? I'm looking like an old bitch.
Pretty much.
Yep.
As someone who constantly feels like I either look all of my age or not at all, I'll take old. Would you rather have every day be Monday or
Oh.
only be able to speak in rhymes?
I'm speaking in rhymes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like Mondays. I definitely don't want 7 days of a week of them. We're having a great time. Is everybody having fun out there?
Wee.
Is anybody
Golly.
even left?
Oh,
Right.
yeah, the chat's still there. We've got 21 people still watching this.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, guys
And people
worry
are
me.
still commenting. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
My son for bedtime tonight chose for me to read Fox and Socks, which, you know anything about Dr. Seuss, that one is the one where if you reach the end of the book and you haven't just completely through some of that, it's interesting.
Okay.
It's like parent torture.
Robert says he's retired. Mondays don't affect me. Yeah, go to hell. No.
First of all, Emily uses this podcast for mischief way more than I do.
That's true. This is a true statement.
The only reason that I partake in said shenanigans is because of Emily 99% of the time.
Really?
I do encourage it. I encouraged it on the last one. I was sending her messages. Hey, like, hey, you should say this.
Yeah, I know. And listen,
This
Blake
one.
had an absolute enough of our shit last fucking
It's
episode.
true.
It took 4.5 seasons, but I finally fucking muted one of them.
He was right. When you muted me, didn't you? Yes.
I did.
It was about Centauri penis.
And the best part is
Yeah.
you're just sitting there talking and we can't hear a word.
Right. Because listen, I will not be silenced except when Blake leads the damn podcast, and then I'm silenced. But I told you guys I have this like conspiracy theory that's clearly just been confirmed that I'm being censored for Centauri dicks. Okay. Would you rather always be sweaty? That's an absolute
No.
fucking no for me.
Already. No.
Or have no access to money for the next 6 weeks. I guess I'm gonna be poor for the next 6 weeks because I do not like to be sweaty.
I was about to say, I'm a large person. It just sort of happens anyway. So
Would you rather whistle for your waiter's attention
Ooh.
whenever you need something when you're
Ooh.
out to eat, or have fingers that don't work on touch screens? How do I use my phone?
I'm going to go with the fingers one because you can always have one of those stylus things.
Right. I'll
that's
just get
true.
it out
Yeah.
of my pocket.
Versus
Yep.
the number of waiters that are going to spit in your food
Yeah.
for whistling at them.
Yeah.
This is why you're
Mhm.
smarter than me, Blake, because I could not figure out how I was going to use my phone if I didn't. Yeah. Okay.
I lost my stylus, so
Oh no. Okay. Would you rather Okay. Would you rather have your keyboard randomly reorganize itself or put a cigar out in your palm? I don't
Ooh.
I don't
Ow.
like
I'm going to
to
go with the
type,
keyboard because I have burned myself on a cigar before.
yeah,
Mhm.
they don't go out easy.
Yeah. So keyboard, definitely the keyboard. Okay. Benway and Ryan have a thing going in the chat because now
What are
Benway
you
says Ryan
two
knows all about
doing?
being sweaty. So
Huh.
earlier Ryan said that Benway had an eggplant going, and now Benway is saying Ryan knows about being sweaty. So those two have something going in the chat.
Damn it. Let's
Where's-
hear about this, guys. What are you two over there doing? No. Okay. Would you rather spend the rest of your life within 5 miles of here? I don't know where here is, so there's a
Wherever
start.
you are.
Or shave off one of your eyebrows.
I'll go with the
You guys
eyebrow. It'll
ever-
grow back.
Eyebrow.
Yeah.
Have you ever bet an eyebrow? You guys have siblings?
I mean,
do, but-
technically, yes, but functionally, no.
That used to be a common bet in our house of we would bet eyebrows. Nobody ever actually lost one because everybody always sissied out before they could. Okay. Let's see. Would you rather be invisible to drivers whenever you step into a crosswalk or be banished
Last
to,
double of once.
yeah, right. Or be banished to Antarctica?
Ooh.
Considering I live in the Pacific Northwest and have crossed streets in Portland and Seattle, I think we already are invisible. So let's just keep that going.
Yeah, I'll go with that too.
Okay, but there's penguins in Antarctica.
Right, but hear me out.
They're birds and they're not real.
Yeah,
Jesus.
and no people? Yes, Antarctica it is. Also, it's cold, so I don't have to worry about sweating. Let's do that.
Mhm.
Benway is now describing a glistening Australian. The chat's almost getting as spicy as we are on the show.
Hey, Ryan.
Robert has a question. Here's a question for the panel. Are any of you or the others part of Gen X?
Nope.
So I'm sort of that border, that Gen X millennial border. Kevin, I think so. Actually, that's where most of us fit, that kind of sub-generation that the way they describe us is we remember things like dial-up internet and the non-digital age, but we also grew up where we're capable of using it.
Mhm.
So we're right on that Gen X millennial border.
We are geriatric millennials.
Yeah, I was born in 81, so I'm right on the like
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it's what, 79 or 80? Like it's
It
not
varies based on who's doing it, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
generally like 80-ish.
But yeah, when you
um
see, yeah, when you, because I just looked it up because I knew I was Gen X, but um, I don't really totally fit Gen X, like you were saying, Blake. We're kind of in the middle sub generation because we don't really totally fit Gen X, but we also don't really fit into the millennials either.
They call us the Zen, as Kevin Hernandez
Yeah.
said, they call us the
Zen.
Zennials.
Yeah.
That's
so
all of us.
I also had older brothers, which, you know, means that other kids my age probably wouldn't have played quite as much Atari or watched, you know, certain shows, but I did because my brothers were doing those things and they were both older. Um, but you know, Mallory, my wife, was born 4 years after I was, and she and I had very different childhoods just for 4 years. But she's the oldest, and there's 4 years apart. But she's a little bit more, you know, traditional millennial than I am. But
how old
she's
were you guys when you first got your first cell phone?
18.
16. But the reason I had one, so at that point, even in high school, I was doing a lot of stuff with a couple different youth groups and statewide stuff. And so I was traveling a lot because we'd go on trips to different parts of the state. So mom and dad got me one so that when I was traveling, I could call when I needed picked up or different things. Never, if I had it at the school, it was always locked in the locker. It's not like I ever carried it with me, but no, I did have one around 16.
Anybody have a
Yeah.
pager?
And you have what?
A pager?
No.
No, I
No,
wasn't
I never had a
that.
pager.
I had a pager in high school. I didn't get my first cell phone though until I was 19. And that's only because I was driving and I got a flat tire and walked home in the snow. So my dad made me get one.
My first cell phone was Primeco. It
Mine
a
was
Qualcomm phone.
Midwest Cellular with one of the Nokia bricks.
Yeah, that I had a
Pretty sure that
Nokia.
goddamn
Yeah,
phone
I
is
didn't
still
know.
working somewhere.
Oh, those Nokias last.
They were
They
indestructible.
eating.
Okay, how about a
Yeah.
couple more and we can wrap up for the evening and
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Would you rather travel exclusively by horse-drawn carriage
Sounds
or
good.
only be able to walk on all fours? Yeah, no.
horse-drawn carriage.
Yeah,
Carriage.
all day long.
Yep.
Okay. Would you rather lose all feeling in the lower half of your body or be able to only communicate through Morse code?
Oh, I don't even. I mean, I know the basics of Morse code, but I would. Oh man, I'd really have to learn.
If we lost feeling in the lower part of the body, that means my knee wouldn't bother me anymore. I mean, speaking of older people, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fucking
Okay,
40 years old, my knees are shot, but
I need to just comment on Cider Barrel's comment real quick. So yes, they were like that in my high school also. And my mom even asked me, and let's be very clear, my mom bought me the damn pager, so she can't really talk to me. But she's like, "What are you selling drugs?" Okay, well, if you thought I was selling drugs, you still gave me a pager. That's weird. So, but yes, that was kind of how it was in my high school too. But no, I was not selling drugs, to be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair, I don't know how I ever lived with a pager. I'm gonna tell you right now, I would be like, stop paging me. Just don't. Okay. Ew. Would you rather always have sand in your bed or know the exact date of your death?
Oh God, those both suck
Yeah.
a lot.
I think I'm gonna go
I'll
with
take
the
the date of
Valentine's
death.
Day.
yeah, I'll
Yep.
take the date.
And then I'm gonna try to figure out every way to figure it out if I can get around it or not.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Gustavo, I agree. All right, last one.
Yep,
Mhm.
last one.
Would you rather leave the country and never return for the remainder of your life or have the arms of an infant?
So before we answer
Noodles.
one, can we base number one on who wins the election?
Yeah, that was exactly where I was gonna go, Blake. Because I'm gonna have a very different answer after November 5th, depending on who wins.
Yeah, I was gonna say my answer is gonna depend on the outcome of the next election.
I don't care who wins the election. I would move to Italy tomorrow if somebody would pay for it. So
I am
God,
quite
I
certain
would go
that I
back
could
to
find a
Denmark.
country.
Not gonna lie, I could very easily see myself finding something on the French side of Saint Martin. I really did enjoy my time there.
I have a quick
Oh.
little thing that'll be fun. So 14% of the US population think that Canadians, at least some Canadians, still live in igloos, which doesn't sound like a lot of people until you realize that 48 million people is 14% of the population.
Wait, they don't? No, I'm kidding. That was a joke.
And we have two Canadians who work with us at work. So I told this to one of them, and I said, so my question for you is it chilly living in an igloo? And he just cracked up.
Oh no. So I have two cards that were sitting like this instead of sitting like this. And I pulled them out of the box. I'm gonna read these because these,
Okay.
especially
Okay.
having the Aussie in the group right now, and it being a B5 podcast, these are two very relevant things. So this is the very last question, the actual last question. And I'm gonna ask this to the people in the chat. Would you rather fight a kangaroo with your bare hands or have an irremovable 2-foot long tail?
2-foot long tail.
You can't take it off. It's there.
Oh boy.
Clearly, podcast Jessi, because every now and then we play these on the podcast. Clearly, podcast Jessi thought these were very, very funny at some point.
So I'm wondering what Ryan would say about someone's chances of coming out of a bare-fisted fight with a kangaroo.
I mean, where does Ryan live? It's not necessary. Like, that's like saying, like, I don't know, because we
Kangaroos
I'm
can
live.
fuck you up.
I'm
Like,
just
I
messing
wouldn't-
with Ryan. Do you have a problem with that?
Don't you
I
be
think
talking
Ryan
about
may
Ryan.
have left
I
the
didn't
chat.
say
I've
he
not
lived
seen
in
him
an
post in a little
igloo.
bit.
I'm just kidding.
Did Ryan leave and not say goodbye?
I think he
Might have.
might have.
No, because it's like saying us we're gonna fight an alligator, except none of us live anywhere near alligators.
Right.
Ugh.
And I plan to keep it that way.
Oh, thank you.
So, well, folks, thank you again for joining us this evening. This has been fun. We will be back, as I mentioned, with our regular recording releases starting on Wednesday at, I believe, 8 a.m. Pacific, whatever the hell time that translates to where you're at. That is when we will have our next episode premiering on YouTube, as well as dropping on your podcast app of choice. As usual, we do appreciate 5-star reviews. If you feel like you would like to give us one of those, go right ahead. You can comment on anything from our content to Jessi's snake milking skills. Just give us 5 stars for whatever you want to say about us. Laura says you freaks scared him away. Oh no, trust me, he's one of us.
He is a
Trust
yeah.
me,
He
he's
is
one
one
of
of
us.
us.
Robert
the
says we
leader.
definitely have a chance against a kangaroo. So I'm going to go with that.
Let's go with kangaroo. I don't want a tail, so
Yeah.
I want a tail.
Of course you do.
Not even gonna go there, Emily.
it doesn't surprise me in any way,
With
shape,
it.
or form. She also wants a freaking trunk out of her face. There's some weird shit going on in Emily.
Have
So
a tail and a trunk, and she's gonna be one freaky looking.
all right.
Jessi is
So
a fucking delight, by the way. I just
It
want to
is.
say thank you to everybody for hanging out with us. You guys
Very
are
much so.
super cool, and we
And
appreciate
and
it.
thanks so much for being so understanding that we're a couple weeks behind. We appreciate it. We know that everyone's thoughts and good wishes are with Scott as ours are. But he's fine. He's doing good. All right, everybody.
Slider Burl says Jesse's a fucking delight.
I
Yes,
am
she
a
is.
fucking delight.
That's
First
right.
of all,